Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Everything that I will be mentioning in this video will be listed down below, so just in case you missed something during the video, you can always check in the description box. Also, if you want to see how I achieve this look that I'm wearing right now, just click on the iCards above and you will see the video. Let's get straight into it. First things first, I ended up picking up the NARS Soft Matte Foundation in the shade Marquises, I think that's how you pronounce it, and I believe this is my correct shade. I did test out this in a couple of shades, but I don't know, like the lighting inside of Sephora sometimes be misleading when you go to pick out your foundations and concealers, so keep that in mind. But I do love the packaging of this. I love that the bottle is squishy, it's not glass or anything like that, so I do love that. I also picked up the NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Amande, I think that's how you say it. As you guys know, I do use the hazelnut concealer for like the front part of my brows, but I wanted to try this shade because this shade seemed a little closer to my skin tone, even though that shade is also good for me. But they ran out, so I actually had to go to NARS to get this because Sephora had ran out. And next, I got the Sephora Best Skin Ever matte powder foundation in the shade 46Y. If you guys have not seen some of my older videos, the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation is hands down one of my favorite foundations. When it first came out, I bought probably like 3 back to back because I was running through them, so I'm excited to use this. Next, I ended up purchasing the Maybelline Fit Me Matte to Poreless Normal to Oily Skin Pressed Powder. This is 330 Toffee. They finally got this in my shade, so I was excited to get my hands on it, and I have not used it yet, so I might need to leave this out, so I go ahead and use it. And since we're on powders, I repurchased the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. This one is medium deep, so this is the deepest tone that they have, and I'm actually going to take this out because I'm almost out of my powders, but this is probably one of my favorite powders to use. Also, I purchased the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. This is the shade Kanufa, I think that's how you pronounce it, so I'm excited to try that, as well as the Cherry Blossom Cake. Now hear me out. So I am allergic to cherries, but I did do a test of this one in the store, and since I'm not eating it, I didn't get a reaction from it, so I'm excited to test that out. But I have to make sure that I don't use too much, because you know how with powders, like you kind of sometimes inhale the excess, so I have to make sure that I don't do too much with that powder. Next, I picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Micro Powder. This is the shade 4 Deep. Next, I picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. This is the shade 4 Deep as well. And I love the packaging of this. It is super cute, and it has their name engraved in it. I also got from Charlotte Tilbury, excuse me, the Legendary Brows. And this is like a brow tint. The packaging is just super cute. Like, I love it. So next, I ended up purchasing the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. And I'm excited to try this out because I love the Milk Hydro Grip, so I'm just super excited to try that one and see what it does, or how it does for my skin. I also picked up the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying Spray. And I also have the Hydro Grip Spray. I don't use it though. I have 2 of them and I don't use it. And then I love the packaging for this. I love the black on black. It is super cute. The next spray I have is a repurchase, and this is the Benefits the Professional Super Setter Spray. I love how this spray out. It's not too hard. It's just the perfect mist. This one was supposed to be a repurchase as well. This one is the Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray with Vitamin C Cactus Flower Water. It was supposed to be the black and purple one, but I was in a rush and I picked up the wrong one, but I do love this one as well. It's just the yellow one. And the next product, it took me a long time to get my hands back on this product, and that is the Huda Beauty Rest and Boss Face. And yes, I bought 2 of them because these have been out for a while, and I really love this spray. The last time I purchased this was like when it first came out, and they haven't been back in stores since, so I had to get them. They only had 3 left, and of course I purchased 2 because they never came back. I also like the Huda Beauty, what is it, the hydrating cocoa setting mist or whatever it is. I like that one as well, but it haven't been back out. And this is how that container look. Of course, it's been out for a while. Next is another thing. This is from Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Now, this is what I originally went in the store for because they didn't have it, and it's been like a year. So I ended up purchasing 2. They only had 3 left, and she had 2 of them on hold for someone else, but she said since the lady did not come in that she'll sell them to me. So I ended up getting 2 because again, I've been waiting for a whole year. The next setting spray it was a buy 2 get 1 free, and that is the Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray Ultra Matte Finish with alloy and vitamin E. And this is what I use for this look that I have on right now. So of course I did purchase 3 of them because they had just came here in the UAE, and I didn't know how fast they were going to be going, so I ended up doing the buy 2 get 1 free, which was a better deal anyway. Okay, next we're down to the eyeshadow portions of the video, and a couple of these items were purchased with the buy 2 get 1 free, and I'll let you know which ones as we go. So first things first, I do have the Rude City of Pastel Lights eyeshadow palette. All of these eyeshadow palettes do have sleeves, and I love when an eyeshadow palette come with a sleeve. That way you don't mess up the actual packaging. If I mess this up, it doesn't matter because I also have this, or vice versa. If you mess this part up, you do have a sleeve. And I love how it's matte, and then it has some portions are like shiny, and then the pastel lights is kind of like 3D but not really too bulky, so I do love that. Now I'm gonna cover up the mirror, and this is what that palette look like. Some beautiful colors, so I'm excited to use these. Now when I purchased this palette, it was back in July. Yeah, it was like right before we moved, and I didn't get a chance to use it because I was so focused on getting everything together for my new place. Next, I have the Revolutions eyeshadow palette. This one is Forever Flawless Birds of Paradise, and again, it comes with a sleeve. I love the fact that it's like a tin can or a tin container, so that way it doesn't really get messed up like that. And I feel like you can reuse it for another for something else. I don't really know what exactly, but I feel like you can. And this is what that looked like, and it looks similar to this palette, and that's because I picked up this one first before I got this one, and I needed something that had some bright colors in it. But as you all may or may not know, I do love eyeshadow palettes. Like, as long as they're good, I love eyeshadow palettes. I love like trying different things and seeing what works and what don't work. So again, that is the Revolutions palette. I'm trying to put these somewhere, but I don't want them to fall. Next, we have the Revolutions Game of Thrones palette. This one is Forever Flawless Mother of Dragons, and this is more so of the fall colors. This one was like spring, summer. This one's fall, winter. Again, it comes with a sleeve. The colors in this palette is gorgeous. This is what that looks like. So I'm excited to try this palette out and see what looks we can come up with. And actually, I probably will be using this palette in the next upcoming video. So stay tuned for that. Next, we do have another buy two get one free deal. This one is the Berry M Glow Beam Illuminating Powder, and it looks like this, and it doesn't have a mirror, and it explains why it doesn't have a mirror. This reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but every time I went to get that, they were sold out, so I just got this instead. We also got the Rue Presents the Roaring 20s. This one is Reckless. I believe it was 3 of these palettes, and this is the only one that stood out to me. And of course, it comes with a sleeve. And on the bottom of the mirror, it says Makeup with an Attitude. And that's what these colors look like. Super cute. And I do love the fact that in some of these colors, it have like little designs on there. You can't really see them that good. There we go. But I do love that. And I'm excited to get my hands in this green, y'all. It is gorgeous. The next is Rude City of Neon Lights, and it looked like this. I wish the pastel lights was as big as this, but it's not. I got this first. I didn't even know this one was out. And when I found this, I think I've seen it first on the internet, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to purchase it. And again, it has the matte and then the glossy on here. This one don't come with a mirror, and these are just super cute. And it's very rare that I get a palette that has a black eyeshadow in there, so I was excited about that. White as well. Most of my palettes don't come with neither one of those colors. I always have to use something else. The next palette we have is also from Rude. This one is Rudimentary Spy Eyeshadows book number 7. It comes with 35 pressed pigments and shadows. And at the top it says Makeup with an Attitude, and it kept their theme. This one, they had quite a few. I don't know exactly how many there are, but again, this one is 7. And the sleeve. And they look like this. This one is more so like fall colors. So I do like that. And you also, I feel like you can use a lot of these colors also in like the springtime. They don't really have much like summer vibes. It's more so fall. But I do love the colors in this palette. Like I said, this is the only one that stood out to me. Like I stated before, these 3 were part of the buy 2 get 1 free. Next palette I have, I've seen this person's YouTube a couple of times, and I love the eyeshadow palette, so I just wanted to purchase it when I seen it in stores, because it's very rare that stuff that I see in the US when it comes to certain eyeshadow palettes that they make it here to the UAE. So I was excited when I came across this palette. That is Nimya, the eyeshadow palette from, Nimya the palette from Nikkie Tutorials. And I love the fact that the sleeve and the actual palette are 2 different colors. And this is the second eyeshadow palette that I received that came with like a little booklet and with different eye looks. And this palette look like this. I'm excited to try out that blue and that orange. And then I picked up the Nimya by Nikkie Tutorials Where It All Started cream. This is a moisturizer and a primer all in one. And Me and my husband said the same exact thing, like you only bought that for the container, and that's it. And it's true. Look at that container. That is gorgeous, like really pretty. That's the end of the video. Hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. I did before my favorite palettes. I will have to update that once I get my hands into some of these palettes and let you know what I think and which ones are my favorite. Can't go wrong with a good eyeshadow palette, and even if they're chalky and not the best, I still know how to make it work for me. But I will let you know which ones I don't like and which ones I do like. And if I don't like them, I still will use them, but I'll have to play around with them a little more to make them work for me. Part 2 of my makeup haul will be in a couple of days, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you in the next one.